President Eisenhower warned us about the excessive political influence of the military-industrial complex. Now, with defense spending, consuming nearly half of the discretionary budget, what specific steps would you take to ensure that corporations that are profiting from a bottomless appetite for more missiles, subs, and planes and bombers are not having overly, too much influence?
Too much influence. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think we should have a strong defense? Yeah, I mean, you would think that, right? For example, the Russians put this air defense system up in the Middle East, and right now we can't, it would stop our planes, our fighter jets. We don't want to be in that environment. We have to deploy a new one so we can overcome that. I mean, we don't want to be weak, right? That invites bad things. So what do? We're back to the simple question of how do special interests work? See, I think the people, the country, think the whole system is bogus. That's where this anger comes from. That if you're rich, if you have a lobbyist, if you're powerful, then you get what you want. And I'm just a regular old person, and I get the shaft. Okay? I got to tell you, I understand why people feel that way, and sometimes it's true. It ain't true with me. It isn't true in my state. It wasn't true of me when I was in Congress, and I'll give you a perfect example. When I was a congressman, I went to a briefing on a thing called the B-2 bomber. And the Pentagon wanted to buy 132 of them. And when I saw what the mission was, which was to fly into the middle of the Soviet Union in the middle of a nuclear war and drop more nuclear weapons, I was like, I don't know why we need to do that. A couple nuclear weapons will ruin your whole day, right? So I decided to work to limit the production of the B-2 bomber. I proposed 13. The Pentagon wanted 132. All the defense contractors and subcontractors all across the country were for the system. And they spread the system out so every parts of the plane were built in a different part of the country to protect their ability to protect that program. So I spent 10 years trying to limit the production of that plane. How popular do you think I was with the defense contractors? Okay? I wanted to take the weapons, the money, and I wanted to put it in standoff weapons, which would still strengthen the United States, but would do it in a different way. At the end of the day, I negotiated 20. So the Pentagon went from 132 to 20, and I went from 13 to 20. Who won? Now, how much money do you think I raised from defense contractors? But that's not the issue. The issue is you do the right thing, and I'm going to tell you this, we need to rebuild our defense. But we don't need to rebuild it by doing things that just put money in somebody's pocket. I've never done that in my lifetime. See, these things are hard for people to understand, because frankly, you've never met anybody like me before in politics. I'll tell you who similar to me is Grassley. Grassley's nothing but a troublemaker. Okay, he stirs everything up, he has no fear, and nobody tells him what to do. Nobody tells me what to do. Now, I don't know, we have our differences, Chuck and I would, but I respect and admire the fact that he's an independent guy. He doesn't report to the Republican Party or to anybody. He does his thing. That's what I do. So we're unusual in this business. But everybody can't be like us, because you have total chaos. So you want some people who are leaders in that way and other people that are just not. And it's up to us to motivate everybody else to see the way that we think things should be done. I'm having fun today. Yes, sir, right over here.